Now, as you know, this event is aimed at the campus community, but we have invited a few of our closest partners to join us. We invited Chris Steinhauser, Superintendent of Long Beach Unified, and Eloy Oakley. Eloy, if you'd raise your hand. Because they are such close partners, I don't think Chris was able to make it. And this year we have also invited our new mayor, Robert Garcia. He delivered his first policy speech on our campus about 3 days after he was sworn into office, and he did this to emphasize his strong support for education, and we're delighted to have him as one of the key partners now. He articulated 5 key education priorities, including universal preschool and internships. We are delighted to have him with us. You already did this, but please join me in a round of applause for our partners in education as well. Now for an important introduction. Our great university is fortunate to welcome as its next leader an individual of great accomplishment. Please join me in welcoming President Jane Close Conley. We will hear from her later in the program. And it is now my privilege to introduce a special group of students who are here with us this morning. Each year, we carefully select a small number of students to be admitted to our campus as President's Scholars. Our Scholars Program is the most recognized in the state of California and one of the most distinguished in the nation. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the President's Scholars Program. In celebration of that milestone, we've produced a video that we would like to share with you now.
I don't think I would be where I'm at today if it weren't for the Scholars Program. The Scholars Program is so dynamic because you have all these great minds together. And like, you may think that you're smart, but there are some really smart people out in this world.
The President's Scholars have really contributed to the over 80,000 applications that we received at California State University at Long Beach. Close to 2,000 scholars, the valedictorians, the national scholars of their class, the first from their school. They're bringing other talented students who didn't know about Long Beach. So I believe that over these 20 years, the President's Scholars have created a pipeline of excellence.
It's not what can you do for us, it's what can we do to help you, to make your transition easier, to make you more successful in life. You can always do better, you can always do something more, you can always give back to your community, you can always accept a leadership position. You've already achieved so much by being accepted into the Scholars Program. Just set the bar really high for yourself. You know, I consider you guys to be kind of like my extended family. I know if I ever needed anything, you would be there for me.
It's all of ours. It's something that impacts the entire university. We received over 600 applications this year for the President's Scholars Program. We will only be able to award between 25 and 35 scholarships. We're hot. The beach is hot. The program is hot. The students want to come here.
This year, we welcome 25 scholars to our beach family. I ask that our incoming scholars please stand. Also with us this morning are the family members and parents of these high-achieving students. Parents and family members, would you please stand? I want to say how grateful the university is to the Alumni Association, the President's Associates, individual donors, and to the Division of Student Services for their invaluable support of the President's Scholars Program. The success of this program would not be possible without all of you. I'm now going to introduce our new ASI President, Joe Phillips. Last spring, he formed a coalition of diverse candidates, including ASI Vice President Nayeri Bagassarian, and 11 senators who ran for student government with a focus on empowering students and ensuring student success. Joe previously served as ASI Chief of Staff and as a senator from Liberal Arts. He has LinkedIn endorsements for cultural awareness and multitasking. That last one will come in handy. He is majoring in International and American Studies with minors in Spanish and History. He belongs to Phi Kappa Phi, Phi Alpha Theta, and Golden Key, and has participated in French Club, Business Students Association, and History Students Association, very involved. He founded and is co-president of American Studies Students Association. I do need to caution his colleagues that his 2-year-old daughter has figured out the password to his iPhone, so your text messages may not be completely secure. He is the candidate who promised jobs, celebrities, and parking reform. Personally, I would settle for parking reform. I give you a gentleman and a scholar, Joe Phillips.
Good morning, Long Beach. It's an honor to speak in front of you all at this year's Convocation. My name is Joseph Phillips, and I am the ASI president and representative of the multitude of students who attend this university. I am lucky enough to have been elected in the same year that we received such a great leader to our campus, President Jane Close Connolly. What I'm going to say to you all about her is that I'm very thankful to have her in our highest office, because I know that she will stick up for my peers regardless of their background and culture and honor our diversity on this campus. Over the next year, the students at Long Beach State are looking forward to the continuance of shared governance in our campus institutions. As the students are the ultimate shareholders for whom we all work, it is incredibly important that they continue to have their voices heard in all major decision-making at this university. Whether it's talks of rebranding the university or as seemingly trivial as voting on matters related to faculty-student relationships. What we want from the campus community is mutual respect, and for the associated students to be seen as a symbiotic yet self-governing part of the university. We seek to innovate and change the world, and to make this campus our ideal. It's fair to say that the Associated Students, or ASI, has never been better. Following our success in last year's fee referendum, we have already begun a great number of new and exciting projects that will enhance the lives of our students and help make them more marketable in the global job market. By the first day of school, we will have opened our 24-hour study center, which will be operational Monday to Friday. We're also nearing completion on our study abroad scholarships program, which will help make this endeavor more affordable for the average student. Those are just 2 examples of the many great services that ASI is now able to provide to our campus community. I've served in ASI for 3 years now, and I am proud of our accomplishments and those yet to come. I also know that when my time is over and I graduate this spring, that my successor and the thousands that she or he represents will be in good hands with President Connolly and her vision for this campus. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe, for those wonderful comments. Now I am delighted to introduce to you an expert on the philosophy of John Dewey, someone who has proven himself to be a skilled and effective leader. Someone with a broad vision of the university in the 21st century. Someone who effectively chaired our task force on instructional technology last year. Someone who has done a remarkable job co-directing with Karen Nakai our Leadership Fellows program. Freshly returned from conquering the Harvard Higher Education Leadership Program. He is a man of such discriminating taste that he goes to Ireland for the wine. I am delighted to introduce to you the leader of our faculty, the chair of our Senate, Professor Dan O'Connor.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you, Provost Dell, for inviting me to share reflections on this important occasion in the life of the university. More than anything this morning, I wish to convey my heartiest welcome to President Jane Close Connolly and her husband, Collie. We're so very excited about your selection as our campus president, and we all look forward to working together across all campus constituencies, along with our school district and community college partners and our city leaders, to continue to move this university forward. I'm invited to speak this morning because of my role as chair of the Academic Senate. Long Beach State is a campus where the Senate includes representatives from all campus constituencies, including faculty, staff, administrators, and students. I am proud to serve with my colleagues, and I would like to recognize the members of the Academic Senate who are with us this morning. Will you please rise if you are an academic senator? Thank you. Thank you for your service. My comments this morning will be brief, and in thinking about various themes that I wanted to discuss, I found myself concerned about just how much can I convey in my allotted 5 minutes. But then I was reminded of a time a few years ago when I was reading through the student evaluations for one of my courses, where a student wrote, "If I only had 10 minutes to live, I would want to live them listening to one of Dr. O'Connor's lectures." She continued, "Because he can make 10 minutes seem like an hour." Renewal, and hope. Ladies and gentlemen, Long Beach State is 65 years old. And as you know, that is the official retirement age. But I'm sure that you'll agree that we are better described as 65 years young. Rather than retirement, I believe a better concept for describing the moment in which this university finds itself is one of renewal. As members of educational communities, we have the unique opportunity every year of starting over, of renewing our commitment to education. And with renewal comes hope. I want to share with you some signs of renewal that I've witnessed as I've gone around campus over the summer, and some hopes that I have for the years ahead. As I walked around campus the last few weeks, I've noticed the renewal of many buildings and structures on campus. The liberal arts buildings are receiving a significant makeover. Across campus, classrooms are being renovated and modernized, the grounds beautified, trees planted, and pathways expanded and made safer. One of my hopes for this year is that each of us will choose to spend more time on campus. Hang out, go to the library, be seen, be heard. And while you're here, thank a gardener or a facilities person, a custodian, or that techie who just helped you resolve the latest glitch. And speaking of which, I find signs of renewal in our campus's commitment to improving our technology infrastructure and service. As a result, students and faculty are working with the most advanced technologies to map ocean weather systems, diagnose diseases, and engineer better airplane cockpits. Technology is changing our ability to serve students with new and exciting modes of instruction. My hope is that as we adopt and adapt to the latest technologies, that we will always remember the importance of relationships in teaching, the relationship between faculty and students, and the relationships that students have among their peers as they are all engaged in the learning process. If you were on campus this summer, you likely would have encountered some of the 8,500 new students coming to Long Beach State. New students who were participating in SOAR, the Summer Orientation, Advising, and Registration Program. These are students, like our President's Scholars, who are renewing their commitment to improving themselves and their life opportunities by attending this university. And waiting to serve them, both at SOAR and throughout the year, is the most professional, well-prepared, and creative advising and support staff using the most advanced e-technologies and e-advising tools available. My hope is that we employ technology to better advise our students and help them reach their educational and life goals. And as we do, that we remember that it is the personal interactions with their advisors that will make a difference in their lives. Hey, technology is cool, but it's the relationships that matter. We have a faculty who are renewing their commitments to their scholarship, to expanding knowledge within their disciplines, and to exploring new pedagogies in order to help students develop the disciplinary habits of mind that will allow them to think like historians, like mathematicians, like scientists, nurses, engineers, entrepreneurs, and artists. Events like today are important symbolic rituals where the university community comes together to celebrate and renew its commitment to the educational enterprise. We are doing great things at this university. We have so much of which to be proud. We have so much to declare. My final hope this morning is that throughout the year ahead, we will do so often as programs, as departments, as colleges, and as a university of the whole. Let's celebrate and tell the world what we are up to. Hey, the world out there wants to be a part of this. 84,000 applicants can't be wrong. The role of the Academic Senate is to provide a civil and collegial space for considered debate that allows students, faculty, administration, and staff to build consensus about how to fulfill our mission as a public institution. My hope is that we will all renew our commitment to this ideal of collegiality, to recognizing that we can work so much more effectively when we work together. Thank you, and let's get to work.
Your anecdote about the student evaluation can't other than remind me that Jane and I spent 5 hours in a car with you to and from Palm Springs last week. Or maybe it was 10 minutes. Thank you, Dan, and I want you to know how much I appreciate working with you. I feel I need to say something. Okay. On September 28th, 1949, a new institution called Los Angeles Orange County State College offered 25 classes taught by 13 faculty to 150 students. Just for a moment, let's look at From Whence We Come.
California State University, Long Beach, a place for knowledge that rose up from 322 acres of bare land 64 years ago. A destination for students from all walks of life to fulfill their dreams of a college education. Starting with 160 students in 1949, we are now over 285,000 alumni strong. History. Tradition. This is our story. Discovery, student successes, national distinctions. These are all things that make us proud to be the beach.
While the language might have been a little different, the mission in 1949 was the same: graduating students with high-value degrees. However, since then, a great deal has been accomplished, and much of which we can be proud. We can be proud that CSULB is increasingly being recognized for excellence and value. As you saw in that video, Time Magazine reported that we were ranked 14th in the nation among all 4,000 four-year universities, based on the Obama administration's criteria of graduation rates, service to low-income students, and affordability. 14th in the nation. U.S. News, Princeton Review, and Kiplinger's continue to rank us highly. Victory Media calls us a top military-friendly school. Security Magazine tells us something parents will want to know. We are one of the safest campuses in the nation. Diverse, yes, absolutely. And by the way, thanks to Chief Solzano and his staff, they may be here somewhere, they're probably out protecting us for what, there you go. Thank you so much for all that you do. I've, by the way, had the pleasure to work a lot with them this year on emergency preparedness, and I'm very impressed at the work that they do. Diverse Issues in Higher Education ranks us highly on degrees to minority students. We graduate our students with nearly the least loan debt of any four-year institution in the United States. Pay scale, yes. All right. Payscale.com ranks us in the top 1/5 in earnings of graduates compared to over 1,000 U.S. institutions of all types, and we're in the top 13% of public institutions. Our parents will be happy to hear their graduates will be getting jobs. There's a lot in the media today questioning higher education, but there is something the media seems to miss. Universities are not all the same. At CSULB, our combination of quality, affordability, and student success adds up to value. We advertise a highly valued degree, and we deliver. We are proud of our diverse, talented, and determined students. Some choose us over more prestigious UCs and privates. For some, we're their only affordable local opportunity. If you were here last year, you learned that all three of my daughters chose CSULB for college. They had other choices, but they chose to come here. And their experiences give me additional perspective on the campus, I assure you. I can tell you that each of them, like all of our students, I think, arrived trusting our campus to provide a valuable education, to open pathways to a successful future that includes a career, graduate school options, and appreciation of arts, sciences, and societies. I'm committed to ensuring that the university provides students with the highly valued degrees that are, in fact, pathways to successful futures for each of our students. We are a place of remarkable diversity, and we are proud of it. We are designated as both a Hispanic and Asian and Pacific Islander serving institution. We host an annual Native American powwow. We host graduation celebrations for all of these groups, as well as for African Americans, Filipinos, and a lavender celebration. We have 2,700 international students. Our diversity adds tremendous richness to the campus and helps make Long Beach special. Our students have developed and implemented over 360 student organizations, including more than 35 cultural organizations. Our students are diverse in origins, cultures, and in academic preparation. About half are low income by federal definition. Our students have brought us many distinctions this past year in arts, sciences, forensics, business, health fields, education, and more. We are proud of their accomplishments. We can be especially proud that last year we awarded over 9,000 bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. Interesting factoid, we had more graduates last year than 85% of four-year universities have enrollments. And the data that we have just compiled show that we reached yet another record high, in fact, the largest year-to-year increase we've ever had in our graduation rate with freshmen and similarly with transfer students. In fact, this gain, which is in the 5% range, means, to put that so you can understand that 200 more students got their degrees than would have done at just last year's rate, never mind the rate 5 years ago. So remarkable benefits to students. Please join me in a round of applause for the accomplishments for all of our students. This past year, Academic Affairs recognized several departments for high performance in student success. Recognition was accompanied by $10,000 awards. Awards were provided in two categories: highest achievement in student success and improvement in student success. A few departments were recognized in both categories. Awards went to the following departments: anthropology, communication studies, film and electronic arts, human development, linguistics, marketing, psychology, rec and leisure studies, social work, sociology, theater arts, women's, gender, and sexuality studies, speech language pathology, electrical engineering, family and consumer sciences, geography, liberal studies, nursing, and religious studies. In addition to funding, these departments will receive a plaque for their offices attesting to their achievement, and we expect to offer another round of these awards this year. Please join me in a round of applause to recognize the faculty and staff in these departments for their exemplary efforts. We can be justly proud of our most important result, that is the graduates with highly valued degrees. We have more than 293,000 alumni. These alumni are our pride and joy. Many continue to support CSULB, for which we are very grateful. Please join me in a round of applause and appreciation for our alumni and their continued support. Ours is a remarkable and dedicated faculty, committed to excellence and to graduating students with high-value degrees. Each tenure track hire is a very significant investment. Data distributed recently, you'll be interested in this, faculty, distributed recently by the statewide academic senate to the Board of Trustees shows that of all the CSU campuses, Long Beach, although not the largest in enrollment or surpassed by Fullerton and Northridge, has the most tenure track faculty by a margin of 48. And the most total faculty, FTEF faculty, by an even larger margin of 120. It would appear that we've done a better job of keeping our resources in faculty during these difficult budget years recently than some of our sister campuses. Last year, I announced a significant increase in the number of tenure track faculty to be hired this fall, and today it is my great pleasure to introduce our outstanding new faculty. We hired 59 new faculty members, although 2 will start in the spring and 1 next fall. This is an exceptional group who will be highly effective with our diverse students. These scholars and creative artists will have a positive and lasting impact on campus. Will the new faculty present please stand and be recognized? We are delighted that you are here. I am pleased to report that we are on track for a similarly large cohort next fall. These new tenure line faculty members join our existing very strong faculty dedicated to the success of our students. Please join me in another round of applause and appreciation for all of our faculty members. I also want to recognize accomplishments of our lecturers. About half of our curriculum from the point of view of students is delivered by capable and often long-serving lecturers. The quality of our programs and our student outcomes depends heavily on their efforts. For the coming year, I have asked the Center for Faculty Development, under the able leadership of Terry Allen, to expand the offerings of support to lecturer faculty. Please join me in a round of applause for our lecturers. And speaking of faculty development, I want to acknowledge some remarkable results from our course redesign projects. Several faculty teams collaborated intensively to improve outcomes for some of our most difficult, low completion rate gateway courses. Now results are in, and several of these collaborations were very successful. 2 in particular, in chemistry and biology, made remarkable improvements in student learning and course completion. These faculty teams teach us something important. They teach us that transforming instruction to reach more students in challenging gateway courses is difficult, but within our reach. I am grateful to all of the faculty teams who put forth strenuous efforts on behalf of our students. Please join me in a round of applause for those teams who worked hard to improve. I also want to note the highly valued contribution of our emeriti faculty. Some remain very involved in the university through the Emeritus Association. We truly stand on the shoulders of giants. Please join me in a round of applause for the emeriti. Basic research pushes back the frontiers of knowledge. Applied research helps solve human problems. Creative endeavors inspire and probe our humanity. Involving students and working with faculty on research, scholarly, and creative activities is one of our most powerful pedagogies. Our faculty has earned many RISCA distinctions. As you came into the Carpenter Center this morning, you saw in our slideshow faculty members recognized last spring at our award ceremony for outstanding achievement in scholarly and creative areas, community service, and leadership. These accomplishments are truly impressive. Despite the bleak budget of recent years, CSULB, unlike many sister campuses, has maintained a sizable investment in campus resources for RISCA. Last year, we invested about $1 million of campus resources in RISCA. I am pleased to announce that this year we have earmarked about $2 million for support of RISCA program. Awards for faculty assigned time have already been announced. We supported summer research assistants this past summer. We're planning to support some research assistants during the AY this year. We're again providing incentives to faculty to prepare proposals for external funding, including multidisciplinary grants. It would take all day long to provide a listing of additional faculty honors and awards earned in the past year. And in the interest of protecting time for our new president's remark, I'm not even going to attempt a sampling, to the disappointment of some deans who keep track of who I mention and all that. However, please join me in a round of applause for all of our faculty accomplishments. We can be proud of faculty achievements in external funding as well. This past year, we increased the number of proposals submitted to 285, a 20% increase, and we nearly doubled the dollar value of proposals submitted to $125 million. I am especially impressed that quite a few of these proposals were large institutional projects that, if awarded, will be excellent for our students. Please join me in a round of applause for the accomplishments in external grants and contracts. I have mentioned to you our leading position in tenure-track faculty and total faculty, our continued increased hiring of tenure-track faculty, our increase in support for RISCA, and our intention to expand support for lecturers. I think of these initiatives collectively as our faculty success program, parallel to and in support of our student success efforts, and I want to express my appreciation to all of our outstanding faculty. Everything we accomplish has been supported by our staff in some way. Advisors are critical to student success. Office staff support the work of departments. Fiscal staff manage our expenditures. Custodians, who often go unnoticed because they work at night, tidy up our environments. Ground staff do an amazing job keeping this a beautiful park-like environment. I ask that all staff in attendance please stand and that the audience join me in a round of applause for their contributions. This fall, the Chancellor's Office asked us to grow. In fact, you may experience a little bit of crowding this fall. We're watching that closely. At the same time, we chose to increase numbers of international students on campus, and as a result, we may have a little bit of crowding. The Chancellor's Office may ask us to grow again next year, or direct us to grow without giving us a choice. That's more typical. A key issue before us is how to handle this possible growth. So this is an important question for us. We need to explore the role of digital technologies, perhaps in managing growth in ways that avoid some of the crowding. This is going to be a conversation for us to be having this fall. Last year, we implemented a new admissions plan linking academic preparation with majors. Like everything we do, this change was aimed at boosting student success and is being emulated by other CSUs. It seems to be working quite well for our campus and students, and we hope and expect continued rises in retention and graduation, and the data seem to be supporting that. These admission tools, however, give us a lot of additional control over our future if we choose to use them. In recent years, as a result of national studies, universities have much more information about student outcomes, such as degree completion, graduate school participation, employment, unemployment, underemployment, and early and mid-career earnings. A few states, such as Virginia, have built data systems to display these outcomes by institution and by major to any web user. These are publicly available. Recently, Senator Bob Huff introduced a bill into the legislature in California that would create a similar information resource for this state. We can be sure that legislatures will be looking at this. Over the summer, the Campaign for College Opportunity came out with a report critical of long time to degree in both community colleges and the CSUs, noting excess cost to students and that longer time to degree creates. California does spend about $26 billion a year on public higher education, and it's understandable that lawmakers are quite interested in the results of this investment. More importantly, our students have a reasonable expectation that we are constantly focused on the value of the degrees that we provide. In a competitive job market, a globally competitive job market, a valuable degree is a key asset, perhaps the key asset. It is our responsibility as educators to learn to use all the information we can about value and to improve our curricula to guide our decision making. And we have a great story to tell. We will continue to focus on the value of degrees at Long Beach. This year, our newly augmented Student Excellence Fee began in full. My office allocated about $6 million new dollars for technology that touches students this year. These resources will make a big difference. Already, our high-tech instructional environments are extremely popular. This fall, 2 more will open in education. I think there's 2 in business that you brought online too, right, Mike? And next spring, with the completion of the LA 234 remodel, 23 additional classrooms will open. Will come online in both senses of the word. This summer, our faculty created and offered many more online courses with leadership from Dean Josie, there he is. Some faculty have found that blended instruction with both FaceTime and online components are effective. Our approach to digital instruction is guided, like everything we do, by the principle of what works best for students. We are carefully using the new digital tools to enhance the quality of instruction. Now take a moment to think about all the global issues before us every day: the Ukraine, Palestine, Iran, Syria, Ebola, immigrant children in our country, and more. Every college graduate needs a global perspective to be well educated. This past summer, CSULB students studied abroad in more than 16 countries, including Mexico, Costa Rica, Switzerland, Italy, Japan, Scotland, Germany, England, Cambodia, Korea, China, Taiwan, France, New Zealand, Italy, and South Africa. Students are always broadened and often profoundly affected by these experiences. Our continuing efforts to infuse a global perspective into our curriculum have well positioned us to prepare our students for an increasingly global future. Last year, I announced that the President and I would partner to launch a Leadership Fellows Program. Dr. Karen Nakai, Executive Assistant to the President, and Senate Chair Dan O'Connor led this project last year with a group of then and future leaders. This program has been a resounding success. Every fellow who went through it has told me that the experience has been a life-changing, eye-opening, growing experience. Karen Nakai and Dan O'Connor are to be congratulated for this remarkable success. Being complete workaholics, they are currently soliciting a new cohort of faculty and staff this fall, so watch for the announcement. I am delighted to let you know that our budget outlook is fairly positive. The governor followed through on his multi-year plan to modestly increase funding for the CSU. Our augmented student excellence fee brings much-needed resources to the campus for technology, and I'm delighted to report that we're providing increasing funding to colleges and departments. Last year, collective bargaining brought a very modest pay rise for faculty and staff. Collective bargaining is once again underway, and we are hopeful that negotiations will bring a larger rise in pay for faculty and staff this year. I am also hopeful that some portion of a pay rise will be available to address the distortions in salary of which we are all acutely aware. The current contract has been extended to September 30th, but it's my understanding that both sides are optimistic of an agreement fairly soon. Looking forward at this time, I think we can be remarkably optimistic. As we move into the coming year, we have a solid budget, we have more resources to invest, we can be proud that we continue to be diverse, student-centered, globally engaged. We can take pride in the fact that what we do really matters. We really are changing lives for a changing world. I told the new faculty earlier this week that Long Beach is a very special campus, and it really is. It is special because of the thousands of people who have worked to make it the best it can be. It is special because we prize our diversity. It is special because we cultivate an atmosphere of respect and civility. It is special because we support our students who trust us to offer them a high-value education. I am honored to serve as provost because CSULB is a great and special public university. Thank you for all you do to contribute to the special nature of the beast. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for. Thank you for your patience. Jane Close Connolly is the 7th president of California State University, Long Beach. Dr. Connolly has an impressive scholarly record. She's the author, co-author, or editor of over 120 books, articles, and book chapters. Her latest book, Positive Psychology and Family Therapy, was co-authored with her husband, Dr. Collie W. Connolly, who joins us here today. She has received research, teaching, and service honors during her career. She serves on numerous journal, editorial, and community service boards. Both the American Psychological Association and the Association of Psychological Science have honored Dr. Connolly with fellow status. Her research and development efforts in school safety, teacher quality, and student achievement have been supported by more than $20 million in external grants and contracts. Dr. Connolly has an impressive leadership record. Prior to assuming the presidency here, she was the interim chancellor at the University of California, Riverside. She's also held leadership positions at University of California, Santa Barbara, Texas A&M University, and the University of Nebraska, Lincoln. Chris Miles, will you join me on stage, please? In case the audience is wondering about Chris's role, he is a sculpture wrangler. And Jane, if you would join us. The meaning of that will become clear in a moment. Before handing the podium to President Connolly, I wish to welcome her with a special gift. This was crafted by an artist that many of us admire, Tony Marsh, a ceramicist in the School of Art. This gift has been designed to fit in a niche in the Miller House so that President Connolly will have a daily reminder that we welcome her warmly to Long Beach. Chris, will you unveil the gift?
Wow. I'm afraid to hold it.
I'm gonna
So please join me in welcoming the new president of California State University, Jane Close Connolly.
Thank you. Now, you don't want to make me cry before I start. That'd be so bad. Thank you, Dave, for that great introduction. And wow, artist Tony Marsh. You see why we put it back in the box, right? They've seen me walk through rooms, and they know what it's like. I'm very grateful, very, very grateful for the warm introduction and the fabulous gift. I want to remind our presidential scholars, I think most of you are over there, right? Wave, yeah, good. Should keep in mind, as a career goal, become a university president. Do you notice what happens? They say nice things about you. They give you presents. It's great. It's wonderful. It's a thing to do, so keep that in mind, okay? Welcome all students, faculty, staff, especially our presidential scholars and their families, emeriti faculty and emeriti staff. During the past 8 months, I've encountered really a rare energy and generosity of spirit about which all of you should be proud. Interim President Don Parra devoted hours each week, long agendas, true, to my beach education, as did Dave Dowell, Karen Nakai, Colleen Falwell, and the VPs and the deans. But when I mess up, it's not their fault. It's just that I sometimes didn't pay attention, I'm sure. Thanks to the many faculty, staff, and students who have generously shared their perceptions about the beach and their best advice for the future. Keep it coming, and I really mean that. It's very important for me to know what's on your minds. Faculty, staff, students, presidential scholars, and families, you can be sure that the beach has had a history of committed leadership. The history is worth celebrating in the names of Parra, Alexander, Maxon, Anatole, McCrae, Horn, Cooper, Simonson, McIntosh, and Peterson. All deserve stories, I'm sure, but special mention is certainly called for June M. Cooper, who was actually the first woman to lead this great university as its interim president in 1988. She was a longtime faculty member and eventually an executive at both the campus and the system level. She was an award-winning model and mentor and scholar to many, but especially African-American women and all students of color, and has a great legacy at the beach. Her granddaughter is a 2014 alum of Cal State Long Beach, and she graduated a magna or a summa, magna summa, one or the other. It was really great, cum laude, right? It's great. I think Allison. I'm sure you've all committed this to memory, or soon you will. There'll be a test at the reception. I'll be going around, okay?
This is our mission, and Dave referred to it earlier. California State University Long Beach is a diverse, student-centered, globally engaged public university committed to providing highly valued undergraduate and graduate educational opportunities through superior teaching, research, creative activity, and service for the people of California and the world. Everyone wants to be in a place like that, right? But what does this look like in action? What do we really do? And you've heard some information from the provost about that, and I'll try not to be repetitious. And I have a rather long list, but I know I've forgotten something, so please forgive me if I've forgotten something, and even better, both forgive me and send me what I forgot, and then I'll use it in my next speech, which would be really helpful for me. As you know, or you may know, that we have over 120 bachelor degrees and many master's degrees, plus several unique doctoral degrees that meet compelling state needs, as well as our students' dreams. We have strong connections with our community partners, and I'm so glad to welcome our mayor and president of Long Beach City College here today as evidence, further evidence of the incredible strength we get through partnership with our city and our region. It's unique in the country. We're committed to students, and we have high-quality services supporting them from day one through graduation. Have hundreds of student clubs and organizations and a vibrant student life, thanks very much to the leadership of the ASI. So thank you, Joe. We celebrate diversity in all its kinds. And in the last 8 months, I've noticed some other things. We have fashion shows that 1,000 people come to. Unbelievable. Our students are winning research awards and CSU-wide and national-wide competitions. We have winning athletic teams, music programs. For example, I learned just the other day that our Wind Symphony is going to Korea in just actually a few days, right? That's pretty great. Forensic, business, and public relations student teams have gotten high marks, high honors across the nation. We've won innovation honors. We have high LGBTQI pride. We've recently reorganized staff to better serve our AB 540 students. We've seen steady improvement in our graduation rate. We have cutting-edge public art throughout our campus, successful accreditations in many of our colleges, faculty research that improves the safety and the economic intelligence of our region, and as mentioned earlier, well over 80,000 applicants as freshmen or transfer students. That's pretty great. And in 1978, we built the longest submarine sandwich in history right here at the beach. And we're included in the Guinness Book of World Records for that. Yeah, I don't know how long it was, but maybe it's time for a longer one. You can't resist a campus like this. It's unbelievable. What I've seen thus far is that we are a well-functioning collaborative campus that is student-focused, obsessed with high-quality academic, research, scholarly, and creative activity, and deeply engaged in our community. You are a strong faculty, growing this year, as you've heard, by almost 60, and slated to grow again by another 60 next year. This is really important for student success. You're a dedicated staff, which also increased by approximately 43 personnel this year with our better budget, and we hope for continued improvement. You are a campus deeply committed to serving our diverse students, and nothing can be more important. I've been asked frequently about my first steps at the beach, and what I've thought is my first steps are like the first steps of our new students. I have to recognize, first of all, that I have a lot to learn. I didn't come with all the answers. So I have to ask a lot of questions. I'll be asking them to be sure that any barriers that we currently face in moving forward are not of our own making. If they are, let's stop doing that. Let's do something better, right? Students, you'll be asking, where's the library and stuff like that. I've already done that, so I know where the library is. So Roman helped me with that. There he is right there, yeah. I have to work and learn about our CSU system with hopes of leveraging its statewide reach to advantage our work. In the same way, you need to learn about Cal State Long Beach in a way to further your work and your careers. And I'll be devoting considerable attention to our first comprehensive campaign to bring more resources to our campus that are so desperately needed to continue our trajectory to excellence. And nothing helps us inspire our donors more than our successful students, because that's what people want. That's who people want to invest in. I think we're on the right path. I'll be working hard to support and accelerate our progress, not introduce lots of new things. Because what I hear and see thus far is that Cal State Long Beach is actually a gateway to a world of opportunities for students through authentic relationships with faculty and staff that help students set high goals with hope and agency. We're a portal to opportunities for students that result in deep learning through internships, long-term assignments, or meaningful engagement with extracurricular activities. We're a model of success with diverse students from the US and the globe. And welcome our friends from Shanghai? China. Hello. You see, if it's not on the piece of paper, I actually forget. Yeah, but we're a campus on which faculty, staff, administrators are all working together for the success of our students. Of students who come to the beach as freshmen, we now graduate 64% in 6 years. That's a jump of almost 4%, right? Yeah, I'd look at Dave because he knows all the numbers, yeah. And among our transfers, it's 78% in a total of 4 years. I'm sure we all want better, right? Yeah, but yeah, that deserves something. We all want to do better for the sake of our students, and it must come with a focus on quality, innovation, and caring. We are a community of high-quality faculty on the cutting edge of their disciplines who engage students in the scholarship of their fields and whose work receives national and international acclaim. I've been happy to know that the radiation hasn't reached our shores yet. We're watching the kelp, right? You people, yeah. But I'm mixed about the fact that we have lots of white sharks out there. We also found that out with scientists from Dean Kingsford's college. We're a campus of committed, highly dedicated staff, and this is really true, without whom the university could not achieve its goals. The staff is so critically important to our success. Faculty and staff, you are the heart and soul of our university's commitment to student success, so thank you very much. I'm committed to maintaining all that I describe and to make all these things happen as the rule, the beach rule. I'm also motivated to make sure that others know we are a key institution in the U.S. national priority to prepare the next generation of creative, able, productive citizens for the future. How do I know this? Well, I listened to Dave Dowell. He may actually doubt that I ever listened to him, but you heard it here, right here, I do. And we have it up here, something that he wrote recently. In order for the U.S. to remain competitive economically in the global knowledge economy, President Obama has established ambitious goals, ambitious college completion goals. The U.S. cannot attain these goals without California. California cannot attain these goals without the CSU. Southern California is where the largest CSUs are located. We are literally at the center of the national strategy to boost U.S. economic competitiveness. The stakes could not be higher. I really like that. I actually wish I'd said it myself. And in future iterations of this speech, I'll stop giving him credit. Unless he's still sitting right there. But I hope we'll all take that to heart, because this will attract attention to our university and further investment in our university. I have many goals, but I don't want you to listen too closely. You know, sometimes people think that presidents say things and it's in code. Oh, she's going to do this or that, right? I don't know any code. So when I have something really exciting and different to tell you, I'll just tell you that. So don't make anything out of on the subtle side of what I do here. There's no subtlety. My goals are that we prepare students for chosen careers and professions that don't exist yet. that we have students, that we as a university contribute to solutions to global and local challenges such as sustainability, climate change, and global conflicts. In other words, help students and us invent our futures, not just make predictions about it. I have a goal that we be engaged in our local community and around the world. We have evidence of excellence in that already, but even more and more is needed. I was last night at an opening of a Long Beach Trauma Recovery Center supported by faculty from the College of Education. Very inspiring that we have our faculty and our student interns going out to make a difference to victims of violent crime or other trauma here in the city of Long Beach. It's so important. I want our students to become leaders and engaged citizens in U.S. democracy and to be proud boosters of athletic teams that sweep the competition and wins. How's that? Sweep, I like that. Sweep the competition and wins, and in academic success. And we're doing that. We have some of the best GPAs and APRs and a slew of other acronyms in the entire tournament, in the entire division that we're in. So it's great news. My commitments to the beach community is that I will work hard. I'll support and encourage excellent performance for students, faculty, and staff. I'll celebrate and support the diversity that is the hallmark of Long Beach State. I'll develop an even sense, a stronger sense of belonging at the beach, I hope. I want to offer many opportunities for self-development, recognize success, and talk forthrightly about needed changes. I want to offer all of you the optimal levels of autonomy to do the work that you know needs to be done, and work to develop the necessary resources to make that happen. And always listen, but suggest clear, challenging, but attainable goals. I'm also fully committed to a safe and nurturing campus that has no room for hate, violence, harassment based on gender, gender identity, ethnicity, who you love, or any distinguishing personal characteristic. I want Cal State Long Beach to be the leader, the national leader, in creating an environment where diversity in all its forms is respected. There is zero tolerance for violence on our campus. Some of you know that I'm from New York, so I have a tendency to like to get things done, but I promise to listen as long as I possibly can before I try to get things done. So please come and talk to me. Although a focus on a new leader's first 100 days is actually rather artificial and perhaps short-sighted, given the actual time change takes to implement, I'm looking forward to a very busy first 100 days. I actually have about 62 days left, I think. My top goal is to know, by day 101, how I might add value to what we offer students. I want to be in a position to understand how to improve the conditions that support faculty success in their teaching and other scholarly endeavors. I want a clear idea by then about how to improve our fiscal, our physical, and our interpersonal contexts, so the whole Beach family has many opportunities to reach and surpass their professional goals. By the end of 100 days, I want to have met all of our key partners and many, many of our alums, who are just the best evidence of our success as a university. I have joined a very successful organization, but we need to still be a hungry organization, one that wants a much improved graduation rate, and importantly, no achievement gaps among our various groups of students, a place that is the best, a place that where the best, most creative and innovative faculty want to come and they want to stay, and the most professional staff choose to spend long careers, a place with a far greater number of full-time faculty, and a place that will remain the top choice of aspiring freshmen and transfer students in the state of California. I don't want much, but that's what I want, yeah. One of the complexities that all great universities face now is how to preserve the best of what they are, and we are, while evolving to meet the new opportunities and demands of our time. We are the responsible stewards of our world's history and science, arts, humanities, mathematics, health, business, economics, medicine, leadership, education, literature, music, and so on. This is a huge responsibility, but one that new technologies have perhaps shaken. That is, knowledge depositories, just knowledge depositories, information, that's everywhere. But curated, vetted knowledge is still prized and rare in certain circumstances. We know that close, meaningful relationships are the basis for deep learning. I actually just learned that from Dan. Yeah, he just told us that, right? How do we keep all that while being accessible and responsive to exploding populations of college-ready Californians? We'll have to create that solution. No one has figured that out yet. I have some ideas, but I am confident that you all have more and better ones. In my view, universities have a rather sacred mission. We provide a path toward life success for all who are in the community. This is a big job. We don't manufacture widgets, although I think our engineers do a pretty spectacular job doing whatever they do. That's all right. We do create environments, conditions, incentives, experiences, and expectations that push all of us to build on our strengths for a better city, a better state, country, world, and for ourselves. We must invent a future that is sustainable, informed, healthy, artistic, civic-minded, and optimistic. We create knowledge. There's nothing more important than that. Cal State Long Beach's progress started 65 years ago and has been nurtured through generations of leadership, faculty, staff, alums, and students. I declare that my declaration, I remembered to get that in, to promise to do my very best to keep the promise. I'll promise to try to keep the promise made by the state of California to offer excellent education at the most affordable cost to Californians with the drive and talent to transform their lives and their families' lives through education. In that way, our democracy is preserved for the next generation. What we do here is just that big. Thank you. Go Beach.
Thank you, President Connolly. Now, I would like to invite all of you to a reception in honor of President Connolly that will be held on the Carpenter Center Terrace, just in front of where we are right now. This will give you an opportunity to express your welcome to her. Thank you very much. We are adjourned.